Hey, yo everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing my comic pull list for the week. Now, I'm sorry I didn't get to do an Andrew Cutter Pick of the Week video last week. Just got way too busy with work and a lot of other stuff, so I didn't get a chance to actually jump onto it. Uh, in addition to that, I'm doing my video a little bit earlier this week because I got to flex out early at work. I'll work this Saturday for a half day, and then I get a half day today. So yeah, this week is a humongous week. In addition to the what is it, 12 comics I have here, three Batman issues, and then the rest. I think it comes out to 13 comics. I also had that Wonder Woman Justice League figure that I bought, and I have a review ready. I will have that up, and then I also have that huge Dark Side Justice League figure, which I haven't bought yet. It's at my box. At my comic store, it's just a matter of me getting it. This week, we also, in addition to DC, have some Marvel to talk about. Interesting, I know. First time Marvel's going to be gracing my comic load. So let me just put these bad boys down here, and then we will start where we always start, with a little bit of Batman in our life. And that will be of Batman issue number 14. We have quite a bit of Death of the Family crossovers, kind of, this week. So, as with Batman, I always get every single cover, even the direct, was it the digital copy one, the combo pack? Even though I don't use the combo pack, I just give it to my friend. It kind of keeps him in comics, in a way. I got my friend in comics, I just give him the Batman thing as a nice gesture, because now I have another buddy that reads comics. So, Batman issue number 14. This is technically the start to the Death of the Family story arc for Batman, although issue number 13 really should have been. Whatever. And the Joker is going around and reenacting crimes early on in his career, but in addition to that, he's targeting family members of the Bat family. His first victim was Alfred, and basically, Batman is distraught. He doesn't know what to do. However, he doesn't want to tell people that Alfred has been captured because he doesn't want people to go gung ho on it. The only person he trusts to keep a level head is Nightwing. So, Nightwing does make an appearance in this. Batman eventually confronts Joker in the spot where they met for the first time, where the Joker was trying to poison Gotham's water reservoir, but things don't exactly go the way Batman wants it to go. See, the Joker has this weird, sick perception that he's actually helping Batman. Will the Dark Knight be able to take on the Clown Prince of Darkness, or will unfortunately the Joker nip off one member of the Batman family? Just gonna have to read and see. On to the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. Good. Scott Snyder really does have a great voice for the Joker in this. When I read it, I hear Mark Hamill's Joker kind of speaking to me. In addition to that, I really do like the sense of uncomfortableness that he gives to Batman and Nightwing in this because, well, the Joker attacked Alfred. It's not just Alfred that gets attacked. Another member of the Batman family gets attacked here, too. So no one is safe at all. So I do like that sense of uncomfortableness. And I like the fact that Joker is being taken as a villain that really can be a challenge for anyone, not just Batman. They're showcasing Joker's strength here as an unpredictable character that can't be profiled. You don't know where he's coming from. His motives always change, like the wind. You never know. I'd like to think that even though Joker's not superpowered, he could go up against someone like Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, and give them just as bad of a day as he gives Batman, because he's not a physical villain, although he does do physical things. He's a psychological villain. Uh, so I really did like that, and left off on a great cliffhanger. Bad. The only bad is I didn't really care for the backup issue, but it wasn't a bad backup issue. It was just kind of there. On the whole, 5 out of 5. Batman issue number 14. Really good issue, and oh, the Joker stuff is nice. I'm not the biggest Joker fan. I love Joker, but it's nice to see the character being handled very well with the New 52. Moving on to Batman and Robin issue number 14, which doesn't have the Death of the Family banner on it, but it really should, because this leads into Death of the Family. Robin and Batman are dealing with the zombies that aren't zombies, but they're kind of zombies, but they're not zombies. And who are the zombies leaders? I don't want to say, but you could probably guess by the cover. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good, there's a nice tender moment between Batman and Robin at the end. I think Robin has some, there's a nice fight scene with Robin trying to save the people, which was pretty fun. And in addition to that, the art was good. But here's the bad. The art changes here and there, and it doesn't matter how good your art is. You can be Jim Lee and George Perez. The art changes, it screws me up, and I don't like it. So the art changes, and two, at the very end, Damian recovers something that belongs to Batman in a way, and it's just a little weird. It's a nice touching moment, but it's kind of weird on how it's handled. On the whole, this isn't a bad issue. It wasn't a great issue. I'll give it a 2.5 out of 5. Which I think is the lowest I ever gave that comic series. Moving on to Death in the Family's Batgirl, issue number 14. So again, Joker is targeting everyone, but it's not just Joker that's targeting Barbara Gordon. No, there's someone else working here. See, Barbara's mother was taken hostage, and something is done to her, and Barbara needs to go save her, but Baby Batgirl's a little too late when it comes down to saving her mother, because the Joker is working with someone else here in a way, kind of. In particular, I'm starting to jump into the good, but good, bad, whether or not you should get it. I'm just going to jump into it. I kind of just segued without thinking of it. Good is I do like how Ed Benz does the face of the Joker in here. Greg Capullo did a great job too. Ed Benz's just looks really off. Actually, both of theirs are fantastic. I do like how the Joker's face is done in this. Barbara emotionally is perfectly on tune with how she should be, especially dealing with the situation that she's being dealt here. I also think that although slightly predictable who's working with the Joker, it adds that level of uncomfortableness and thrill to it. Bad, none really. This was a good issue also. I did enjoy it. I think everything was handled well in this. I'll give it a I'll give it a 5 out of 5 too. Batgirl was a really fun issue, really good. On to Suicide Squad, issue number 14, Death of the Family. And as with some of the Batman titles, and I will show you, you get the cover and you can switch it up here. So it's kind of interesting on how it works. Now, even though this is Death in the Family, not all of it deals, well, I want to say 2/3 of it deals with the Joker. Basically, they're having the funeral for Deadshot, who I'm sure Deadshot's not dead, but hey, everyone thinks he's dead. And the Joker shows up. And the Joker basically scares the living shit out of Harley Quinn to do what he wants her to do, which we see in Batman issue number 13 what it is. In addition to that, the Suicide Squad is trying to recover, all in their own different ways, and we find out that there's something that's going on with King Shark that he might be playing people more than he may let on. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Art is good. The relationship between Joker and Harley is uncomfortable as it should. Amanda Waller is just as authoritatively badass as she always is. Bad. And for a crossover, it didn't feel like a crossover. Like, the Joker was there, but he only dealt with Harley Quinn, and it really wasn't the Suicide Squad dealing with the Joker, it was just Harley Quinn. Now, I understand Harley Quinn is, for the most part, considered the star of Suicide Squad, but I would have liked to see all the members kind of just deal with the Joker and his unpredictability. But then again, the Joker took down everyone in the Suicide Squad except for Harley with relative ease, so I guess that shows you that not everyone, but everyone that was present at the funeral. Um, on a whole, this was a decent issue, 4 out of 5. I can't really say there's any too much bad about it, but it was a good issue, 4 out of 5. Excuse me, I had chocolate milk earlier. Okay, on to Marvel Now's Thor issue number 1. Might as well go into why I am picking up Thor. And I'll do that for the other Marvel Now title that I'm getting. Thor the thing about Thor that I like is very much like Wonder Woman is that he's dipped heavily in mythology, but it kind of works in a comic book universe. I like Norse mythology. I think it's fun. I think it's enjoyable, and it's so dramatically different than other mythologies, but at the same time very similar. Um, and Thor is just kind of a cool cat. His power set is good. He's not overly powerful, but he's definitely has demigod-like powers. And I particularly like how Thor's mythology is that his gods aren't actually gods. I could be wrong about this, but they're extra-dimensional beings. So I kind of like that too. Kind of like how Wonder Woman's gods are gods, but they're not gods. Well, before the New 52, Wonder Woman's gods were just the leftover energy and power of the new gods. So I guess they're gods. Whatever. But yeah, that's why I'm picking up Thor, because I like Norse mythology and Thor's a cool cat. So basically, in this issue, is set in the past, present, and future. In the past, we see Thor kind of helping out people with the frost giants, and this is set way in the past. And then a dead god shows up, and then in the present, Thor is fighting off this vicious animal like hunting predator thingamajiggy, which he believes is the pet of what was killing gods in space. Let's go with it. And at the very end is the future where Thor is fighting all these predator animal like things on his own. And it leaves off on there. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good, I did like the Thor in the past. I thought he was very hail to you, potential party mate, kind of, very, very sword and sorcery like with his tone, and I did like it. And I do like how Thor has this mindset to him. Like when he goes to the alien planet and he acts as the god for them, and he gets mad that they don't have their own gods, and he says there should always be gods. It should be belief in. He's very much acts like a god. It's not like he's a superhero that's, hey, I'm cool, I'm chill. No, he has a kind of an ego to him, but it's not like a bad ego. It's just it makes sense. Um, I did think it was welcoming and opening to new people that reading Thor. If you know nothing about Thor beforehand, it's fairly welcoming to you. Bad, I didn't really like the ending with the vision of the future and Thor going up against stuff when he's really old and missing an arm. And I hate it when they do that. That's just personally me. I think it takes away from the comic because you know that future doesn't matter. It's not going to play anything. If it does play anything, it's only going to play something for the story arc. That's about it. On the whole, Thor: God of Thunder issue number 1 was a fun issue. It was enjoyable. I don't think it did a lot to wow me, but I think it was welcoming for me. So I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Moving on, Deathstroke issue number 14. Um, Hawkman Wanted Part 2, I believe. Basically, Deathstroke is going after Hawkman, but not because he has a hit on Hawkman. It's because Deathstroke actually has nth metal armor, and he wants to figure out where this metal came from, why his nth metal is different from Hawkman's, because you actually get a reasonable explanation for that. And basically, he just wants answers. And while this is happening, Hawkman is, of course, wanted. So Deathstroke kind of works with Hawkman, but not after they fight each other and kind of a brawl. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. The explanation for his nth metal being different from Hawkman's nth metal was actually pretty good. And I don't want to give it away, but it makes sense and it works for what it is. The fight scene between the two of them is good. Both of them kind of get their show offs, which is nice. And it leaves off on a good note. Bad. Hawkman seems. It feels as though Rob Liefeld's writing Hawkman in one comic, but also in another, and his Hawkman just feels a little different in Deathstroke than he does in Hawkman. But besides that, it was a pretty decent issue. I more than decent. It was pretty fun. 4.5 out of 5. It was actually really fun. Demonites issue number 14. Basically, Etrigan's trying to pull his plan together, for lack of a better term. He fights the Demonites, but he also uses the Demonites to his advantage to get into Avalon. Now, Avalon is the Holy Land, yada yada yada. It's where all knowledge come from, yada yada yada. It's like paradise, basically. And while this is going on, it ends off on a big note because I don't want to give too much away. Three opposing forces are going after each other. There's going to be a battle. Oh, there will be a battle. And Etrigan is the engineer of this battle, in a way. Yeah, in a way. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. I don't really even need to do this. The story was fun. The characters were fun. We find some shocking revelations about Shining Knight. There's always that question: is Shining Knight a boy? Is Shining Knight a girl? We got our answer here, which I thought was actually handled very well. And on a whole, it was just a very well done issue. 5 out of 5. There was no bad about it. It ended off on a great note too. Um, Green Lantern Corps issue number 14, Rise of the Third Army. So Guy Gardner is basically fighting the Third Army, but hey, you can only do so much when you're Guy Gardner, huh? Yeah, a few little quips here and there, flip someone off. That's basically what you do. Guy Gardner he's taking on too much. He's biting off more than he can chew. And while this is happening in the background, the Guardians are slowly sabotaging Guy Gardner and also his reputation. They build him up to be this elite Green Lantern member, and now they're gonna smack him down. Because why? Well, the Guardians are kind of evil right now. While this is going on, John Stewart has an encounter with another Corps member from a different Corps. Who it is? I don't want to say. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. I like how Guy Gardner acts in this. He's kind of defiant to the very end, and it was nice to see the Third Army overwhelm him. But on the flip side, the bad is Guy Gardner gets something happens to Guy Gardner at the end. It's like, well, if this happens to the guy, and then we have the problem with Hal and Sinestro, how many Green Lanterns are we going to have left to fight the Third Army? Kyle, Baz, and Stewart. You're running out of Green Lanterns here. So that kind of pissed me off. It would have been nice if Guy kind of just flipped off the Guardians and flew away, but no, he just you have to read to see. In addition to that, I feel as though Jon Stewart has played very little of a role in the past two issues. He's kind of been there. He's had a couple pages, but played very little of a role. And I like Jon Stewart a bit more than I like Guy, so I kind of want to see more of him doing something. On the whole, it's an okay issue, but I'll give it a 3 out of 5. Nothing to write home to. On to Marvel Now's Fantastic Four issue number 1. Why am I picking the Fantastic Four as a comic to pick up? Well, see, the Fantastic Four is one of my favorite Marvel superheroes team because and that was my phone. One is that the Fantastic Four is very much like the Challengers of the Unknown. They're very sci-fi. They do adventures rather than fight villains, although they'll fight villains like Doctor Doom or well, other people. But they're a bit more adventurous. They're more like Star Trek almost, kind of. It goes out and does strange new things and adventurous new things, and I like that. Two is one of the things I don't like about the X-Men, especially in recent years, is that it's just been kind of too oversaturated with members. There's like a freaking new members and teams. There's like 5 X teams, 5 Avenger teams, and they all have like various different members, and it's just too much to keep in mind. With the Fantastic Four, yeah, they have FF, but really it's just the Fantastic Four, and then so is 4 members. Granted, She-Hulk may join the team for a bit while Ben Grimm is gone, or Spider-Man may fill in for Johnny Storm when they think he's dead, but really it's those 4. I'm gonna grab this phone. So I like that. It's very stable, and I like it when teams are stable like that. I don't like alternating teams too much. That's why I think like in DC, you have the Justice League. Leave those core 7 members. Then for the Justice League of America, you can switch them around all you want. But I just like the Fantastic Four. There's something about them. They're also the start of the Marvel Universe. Not counting Namor and Captain America and the first Human Torch, but the start to the superhero age in the Marvel Universe. So, you must excuse me because I'm still learning names of certain people. Give me a second. Basically, what happens is the Okay, I know who I'm talking about. Okay. So basically what happens is the Fantastic Four are dealing with a giant dinosaur and Mr. Fantastic Reed gets injured. They teleport back at home base and you kind of see a day in the life of each Fantastic Four member. While this is going on, Franklin, who is the son of Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm, has a premonition from the future because, I don't know, he's like Jesus. Yeah, Franklin in the Marvel Universe powers, at least from what I'm told, always varies and he can do like ridiculous things at times. I believe he had a future self kind of team up with him in the previous FF series. I don't know. This is really my first real exposure to Franklin, so and he has this premonition of the future of them going into space and then burning up in the atmosphere, yada yada yada. Well, this is going on. Reed's arm is not healing; it's not being fixed, and he comes to this big kind of conclusion. Let's go on and have an adventure. We have an interdimensional time traveling machine. Let's just take a year off, go somewhere, and come back the moment we left, and hey, we have a family adventure. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. I thought the characters had a good voice to them. I did like the fact that eventually we get a good idea of what the comic's going to be about. This big adventure throughout interdimensional space and time and stuff like that. It's just a fun adventure for the team. Everyone kind of got their say in this, and you definitely see their character traits stand out, especially Reed, who kind of has his head up in the air. If it wasn't for the people around him, Reed would just totally go, he lose himself in science. He'll be like chilling. I can just see Reed Richards banging the shit out of his wife, and then just goes, "Hey, I have an idea for a new teleporter," and he just leaves. It doesn't say anything to her. They're going at it doggy style, and he has his long, elongated plastic dick, and yeah, I think I'll go and create a new teleporter. Reed's kind of like that, and I like how you kind of see this. They're just eating dinner, and Reed's like gets up and leaves. So I thought that was very good. Bad, there's a few bads. One is I thought some of the stuff was not necessary, like the thing just being on YouTube, and it's YouTube, was a little weird. You got a chuckle out of it, but it's like, was it necessary to the story? Two is I know this is not a reboot or a relaunch, it's a continuation for Marvel, but I would have liked to see um, a little bit more information about the secondary characters I know nothing about. There's like aliens in this, I know nothing about them. And lastly, the dinosaur that really hurt Reed and why his arm's so like fucked up. It doesn't really play much of a part to the story, other than that. despite all this, despite all this, the good definitely outweighs the bad, and I will give Fantastic Four issue number one a 4.5 out of 5. Get it? A 4. 4.5 out of 5. It was a great issue and just shy of being a 5-star in my mind if it wasn't for those issues. But besides that, it was really fun. I did enjoy it a little bit more than Thor. Um, we're getting to the end. We're getting there. Yeah, we'll do it like this. So we have Superboy issue number 14, Hell on Earth, and this should really be Teen Titans issue number 14 because it's more of a Teen Titan book than a Superboy book, which again makes me wonder, Superboy is great and all, but his book is really just an extension of the Teen Titans. Why not just have his book get canceled and have his character develop on the Teen Titans? Although Superboy's in everything. He's in Teen Titans, he's in Superboy, he's in Ravagers. He's probably the most utilized teen superhero in the DCU right now, with maybe the exception of, well, no, Robin isn't a teenager. So, yeah, basically Hell, and I'm not sure if that's really his name, but hey, the Hell shows up and he royally kicks the shit out of Superboy and the Teen Titans. Like, literally, like, if you're just chilling with your little brother and Raiden shows up and, like, from Mortal Kombat and just, like, zaps your brother to death. That's basically what happened to Superboy. See this picture right here? This is basically what happens in the issue. The Teen Titans try to help him out. Everyone but Red Robin, because Red Robin's, I don't know, playing Super Mario Sticker Star or something. Red Robin's just not around. Um, which oddly enough, he makes an appearance in Ravagers, but I'm pretty sure Robin's not around because of the death of the family, and it even says that at the end. Um, Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. A Superboy character is actually really growing on me in this, and I do enjoy his character throughout his comic now. I feel as though Tom DeFalco has a little bit more of a handle on Superboy than Scott Lobdell, which is interesting because I liked most of Scott Lobdell's work in the New 52, but his Superboy stuff just was little lackluster. I like the relationship that's growing between Superboy and Bunker, the friendship they have, and I felt as though the Teen Titans were utilized very well in this. And it's you definitely get a sense like this this hell dude shows up and you're like, oh well, a lot of times, and this is a little weird, I think about it, it's like, well, what if, like, the Teen Titans are fighting him, but what if the Justice League fought him? And I'm thinking, wait, this is a Superman villain. This guy could beat up Superman. I should take this guy seriously as a villain. um and even the small things like the supermodel that lives next door to Superboy and how her character is kind of developing in a way, it's fun. Bad. They make references to events that happen and issues that haven't come out yet. Apparently, Superboy goes wacky on the Legion Lost in issue number 14 to 17 of Legion Lost. I don't know. Apparently, and they just make references to issues that haven't happened yet. It's kind of weird. Besides that, Superboy was it was fun this time around. I thought the title was handled very nicely, and for a comic that's kind of been in a little bit of a flux right now, it actually was very good, and I'll give it a 4. 4 out of 5. The Ravagers, issue number 6, guest starring Superboy, because Superboy is, again, in everything right now, Young Justice. Um, Yeah, so basically, Caitlin Fairchild and the Ravagers are kind of training, but she says, screw that, we'll go out and we'll chill for a bit. So they go out and they kind of chill amongst the common people, but ha ha ha, you can't have that happen for long. They get attacked. And by whom? Can't say. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. This team feels like a family. Plain, flat, and simple. These people have been through a lot of shit together. A lot of shit. They've seen stuff together. They've done stuff together. By hook or crook, they're family together. Two is Superboy. Well, and you get that feeling sense from it, and even them just walking and chilling out on the boardwalk was pretty fun. I like the setup of the team. It's almost kind of like the X-Men's early days in a way. How they're on the run and they're misunderstood and they're dealing with an evil organization and they have even like a training room, like the Danger Room. It's nice without it being like a complete rip-off. The characters are fun in this, and I did like how Superboy kind of blended well with the team. He should be on the team. Why not have Superboy on both the Ravagers and the Teen Titans? He works well on it. He works probably better on the Ravagers than the Teen Titans. Bad, none. 5 out of 5. Ravagers was great this week. Especially the ending. It feels as though next issue is going to be bombastic. Moving on to Buffy the Vampire Slayer issue number 15. And what are we? We're going up to 28 minutes. Wow. This is the last issue of Billy the Vampire Slayer. Basically, Billy and his watcher need to go save Billy's grandmother from the library. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. I like Billy. I like Billy and his watcher. I think they're fun, interesting characters. And now looking back on it, this story was a nice little breather from Buffy. Bad is that where exactly are these stories going? I feel as though there's no bigger picture for Buffy right now. With Angel and Faith, there's a clear-cut bigger picture. There's an ultimate goal. Where's Buffy? It kind of just is dangling there. 3 out of 5. Okay issue. I can't really say too much about it because I'm in such conflict about it. It's an okay issue, but it's like there's no direction for the series right now. And that's how Buffy's been for a while. 2 more comics to talk about. G.I. Joe, issue number 184. This is a lot happens in this. You have Cobra Commander at his new base of operation with some hostages, and Clutch and Rock and Roll go in there to save them. We have Deathstroke and Baroness dealing with Darklawn and his dealings with evil generals, and then you have the Joes kind of trying to figure out where to go. It's almost like Duke doesn't know what to do. He's like, hey, I'm gonna drive here, and maybe I'll drive here. Um, Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. The clutch in the rock and rolls. Did I say clutch and rock and roll? Yeah, it's clutch and rock and roll. Their stuff is really good where they're trying to save the hostages. I think there was Cobra Commander was just fun, him being Cobra Commander, and Deathstroke's a badass in it towards the end. Bad is I felt as though the Joes as a team were underutilized, and Zartan made like a big deal of trying to get all the Cobra family members back together, and we see only a little bit of it in this. I don't know, it was a decent issue, but a 3 out of 5. And the last comic this week is Anime Con Girls, featuring Batgirl and Robin. Yes. If you know nothing about the Anime Con Girls, it was. I'll give you like a 2 second introduction. Anime Con Girls is a statue DC collectible series which basically takes characters from the DCU and make them into anime characters and do their own unique designs. They only do female characters and they even take male characters and turn them female. Then they thought, hey, why not make a comic out of this? So Justin Gray and Jimmy wow, I just butchered his name. Jimmy Palminotti. I just butchered his name again. The two of them worked together. The two of them worked together on the comic, and it was a digital release first. But now it's been a couple months. They're releasing it in issue form. First issue was Wonder Woman, and the next issue, this issue is Batgirl and Robin. Next issue is Julia Dent, and it's kind of building up to a bigger story. Good, bad, whether or not you should. Oh, and in addition to that, every character is female. Uh, Brainiac's a female in this. There is no Batman. It's the dynamic duo is Batgirl and Robin. It's the world of super heroines. Anyways, good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good action scenes. Uh, Characters were actually really fun. I kind of like the Robin in this, kind of spunky, if you know what I mean. And I do like how the supervillains are kind of teaming up together in such a cheesy 60s way. Almost like Challenge of the Super Friends. I don't know if that's what Jimmy and Justin were going for, but you get that. Um, and I like how this kind of built a little bit off of the Wonder Woman story. Bad, I felt as though Steel was kind of a bitch in this. So I didn't like Steel, but besides that, this is just like the previous issue. It was fun, it was enjoyable, and what's nice about it is it's an Elseworld story, so I don't have to care about anything other than just having a good time. 4 out of 5. It was a fun story. Nothing blew my mind away, but I still enjoyed it. So that is the comics for this week. Whew, it was quite a week. I will have my Wonder Woman figure review up sometime soon, and eventually have that Dark Side review when I get the figure. So, anyways, yeah. What did you think about this week? And what did you think about Batman's Death of the Family and Marvel's Nows that's going on? Opinions. I'd love to hear them. I'm going to end this video here. This is Andrew saying peace out.